My name is Nimrod Norm, and here are my picks for the top 10 My Hero Academia episodes. Number 10, I'm going to go with My Hero. In this episode, Deku fights Muscular to protect Koda. And in this episode, you have that fight, which basically takes up the entire episode. You get to learn that Muscular is the one that killed Koda's parents and the reason that he hates Quarks. And you have the fight with Deku and Muscular. And throughout this fight, Muscular just absolutely wipes the floor with Deku. Just absolutely puts him to shame after all this. I mean, granted, it was after a day of training and Deku was extremely tired and exhausted from literally working out all day. But towards the end of the fight, Deku unlocks his 1,000,000% punch and embeds this man into a mountain. He literally puts him into a crater into the mountain and then catches Koda with his teeth. I mean, with a moment that badass, how can you not put that in the top 10? My number 9 pick is going to be Infinite 100%. In this episode, Deku is fighting Chisaki in his final form and has Eri on his back, constantly reversing him so he can use 100% of his power without. Well, he is breaking him still, but Eri is able to reverse it to the point where it's like a millisecond, not even, before his body's back to normal. So he can just constantly keep putting out 100% of his power. And I'm going to be completely honest, both in this one and the last one, they should be dead. Like the whole thing in season 1, 13's like, oh, you gotta be careful of your powers because you'll kill someone. Like Deku embedded Muscular into a mountain and then punched Chisaki in the face, directly to the face. 100%. No way. He should have been at minimum. He should have been decapitated. Number 8, Shoto Todoroki Origin. This is the sports festival arc episode where Deku fights Todoroki. You got the your Cork, not his moment, and you've got all the flashbacks to Endeavor uh, beating his wife and screaming at his children. You get to see the first shot of the third child that still hasn't been revealed, which is most likely Dobby. But you get to see his whole backstory and why he got his scar, and you get to see him use his full power and just absolutely destroy the stage. I think it has one of my favorite lines in the whole show, where while All Might's watching, he goes to Deku, he goes, "Don't tell me you were trying to save him the whole time," as he's just like breaking every limb on his body. um, Number 7, I'm gonna go in same season. I'm gonna go with Climax. This is the episode, the end episode of the fight with Stain with Ida, Todoroki, and Deku. And Ida is my favorite character, so this may be a bit biased, but I love the Stain fight. It is one of my favorite fights in the whole show. I think one of the reasons that Lemillion or Ida is one of my favorite characters is my favorite superhero is Wally West. So that's a speedster, but not even just that. I think the main reason is that he's a legacy character. Taking the legacy of someone great that they look up to with all that they have looked up to all their life and trying to live up to that to push them forward. Because trying to live up to someone that you idolize that much, I think, is a really cool and great motivator. And that's just, legacy characters are one of my favorite characters to see. So, Lemillion. This episode is badass. This is the episode where Mirio Togata goes toe to toe with Chisaki, then loses his quirk, and still manages to hold his goddamn own until people get there. Like, it is insane. He will not stop. It's like when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. He just won't stop no matter what. He can't stop. And for number 5, I'm going to go with Tenko Shimura Origin. This is by far the most gory episode in the show. This is the flashback to where Tenko Shimura, or Tomura Shigaraki, whatever you want to call him, his origin, where he kills his whole family, including the fucking poor corgi. I don't know why they had to kill the corgi, man. There is no reason to kill that corgi. He didn't do nothing. He that was like, he didn't even really care that much about the corgi. His sister cared more, man. They had to kill the corgi. No reason. No excuse. No excuse for that corgi, man. None at all. But for number 4, I'm gonna go with More of a Hero Than Anyone. This is the episode where they find out that Korogiri is Present Mike and Eraserhead's old friend Shirakumo. And I still haven't read the volumes of Vigilantes. I'm currently working on it. I'm in volume 6. But I loved that they were a trio, and that their third friend was amalgamated into this like half Nomu creature, and they just see him just being tortured after Eraserhead watched him die years ago. It has been his entire character motivation for his entire life since he was in high school, and then he finds out that he's been alive this whole time, and not only alive but being tortured. One of my favorite quotes is in the last episode of season 5, where Eraserhead asks Present Mike what he's gonna do to them when he finds them, and Present Mike says, "I'm gonna have a surprise karaoke contest with them, and then boil their guts while their ears bleed." It's just so good. I can't wait to see what happens in season 6, and to see what Eraserhead and Present Mike are gonna be able to do when they come face to face with Shigaraki. Whether they're gonna get answers or they're just gonna lose it. Number 3, top 3 for me, easy. One for All. United States of Smash, All Might losing his powers, Deku continuing it on, the satisfaction of All for One being put into a crater in the ground, just all of it. All of it is so perfectly done and so well handled, and like I said, I love legacy characters, so to have the torch being passed on in that episode, because All Might can't do anything after that, so having the "now it's your turn" on the TV is just so good. Number 2, That Which Is Inherited. This is the season 5 episode where Deku gets Black Whip, and it just goes fucking haywire and starts attacking everyone and all that fun stuff. That episode had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was so scared because it just drops it, right? You're watching this Class A versus B arc, and it's like, okay, it's really cool. Like, that Ida episode was really cool, and Todoroki learned Flash Fire Fist, and that was really cool. Well, granted, if he was actually able to pull that attack off, he would have melted Tetsu and killed him right there. He got a little too into it, I feel like. But you had the Ida pulling out his engines reveal, and the fact that he's like way faster and can hold out for 10 minutes now, which is still insane. But you have this just, school arc, and then out of nowhere, people's lives are in danger like that. It just happens, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? Like, it just throws you in, and the shock value alone made it one of my favorite episodes. And I know this is going to be controversial. Most people aren't going to agree with my favorite episode, but it is by far my favorite episode. His start, the season 4 finale. Now, I know the majority of the reason that I feel people are going to disagree with me on this is just because everyone hates Endeavor for what he did in the past, and I'm not saying that he deserves forgiveness. That's not the question. But watching him in his element, like he is the number 2, now number 1 hero for a reason. Seeing him in action for an entire episode, it literally starts, because the episode before it ends with him encountering the Nomu. The whole episode, excluding shots to his family reacting to the fight, outside of that, it is just him and Hawks fighting the Nomu for the whole episode. It is non-stop fight. I know I keep talking about quotes, but and one of my favorite quotes is in that episode too, or a few of my favorite quotes. You got, I'm thankful for the pain. It's keeping me conscious. Or, you're me from a past. Or another future. I've always hated that damn school motto. I'll go plus ultra. Prominence burn. It's so good. And I watched the dub, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that too, but I watched the dub, and the way the line is delivered is just so perfect. I can't emphasize how perfect the line delivery is in that. But yeah, that about does it for my top 10 My Hero episodes. Tell me your favorite episodes in the comments. I'd love to hear them. I know mine is going to be pretty disagreeable, but I'd love to hear your guys' order in the comments. So yeah, let me know. If you want, I got a podcast called the Basscast with my friends. You can go check that out on Spotify. And I got some more My Hero videos on the channel, so if you want to check those out, you can check those out too. When Korigiri comes out and One Justice 2, I'll be doing a video on him pretty much the day it comes out, as soon as I can. And yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys next time.